welcome to another video. In today's lesson we are going to learn how to make a granny stitch poncho. This will be a series of videos and there are 5 different sizes: toddler, child, small to medium, large and extra large. There will be a free written pattern for this video and I will put the link in the description box so that you can find it on my website. We will be using Red Heart Super Saver yarn in the colour light raspberry. So let's get started on the lesson. If you've watched many of my videos, you may have seen the granny stitch poncho before. This was one of my very first tutorials and it is very old. Actually, it's about 4 years old. So I wanted to revisit the poncho and make a better tutorial for you guys and explains the sizing a bit better than what I did in the original. So I hope you enjoy the new version of the granny stitch poncho. For our supplies, we will need a sharp pair of scissors. These scissors are available on my website, so I'll put a link below so you can go and check them out. We will need a yarn needle to sew in our ends. We'll need a crochet hook that goes with our yarn. I'm using medium worsted weight yarn, which is a 5.5 or an eye hook. If you're using 8-ply double knit or sports weight, I would suggest using a 4mm crochet hook, and that's equivalent to about a size G. I've got medium worsted weight yarn, like I said, and we also need the pattern that is located on my website. I will put the link below in the description box. Yours will have a link in there. I haven't made the video yet, so I don't know what the link is. And it gives you all sorts of details. It will give you each size. It will give you, it will say how much yarn that you need as well on there. I will need to add that later on when I know after I've made them. And then it's got like average sizes for you to make them as well. So we want the instructions. What we need to do is start with a slip knot. Plenty of different ways to do that. And what we need to do is chain 72. So just working your chain. I want you to keep going until you have 72 chains. After we have our 72 chains, we are going to join with the slip stitch. We want to make sure our chain is not twisted, so it's all facing the same way. I'm going to chain up 3. Then we're going to work 2 double crochets into the same stitch. We're going to chain 1, skip 3 chains, so that's 1, 2, 3, into the next chain. We're going to work 3 double crochets, chain 1, skip 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, into the next chain. We're going to work 3 double crochets, chain 1, skip 3 chains, oops, 1, 2, 3, into the next chain. We're going to work 3 double crochets. The first row is always the fiddliest. Chain 1, and we're going to repeat this across, skipping 3 chains, 3 double crochets, and then a chain 1. Want to keep repeating until we have 8 sets of shells. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep going across until we have 8 sets. I have 8 sets of the 3 double crochets, and we're going to call these 3 double crochets, we're going to call them shells. So that group of 3 double crochets is called a shell. What we want to do now is work the first corner, and this will be the front or the back of your poncho. They're both exactly the same. So we skip 3 chains, 1, 2, 3. Into the 4th chain we're going to work 3 double crochets. Chain 2 this time, and back into that same space we're going to work 3 double crochets. So back into the same one, chain 1. And this is what is going to give the shape to our poncho. So now what we want to do is continue on skipping 3. So 1, 2, 3. Working into the next one. Work 3 double crochets. So our shells are separated by chain 1s, but on that corner section it's separated by chain 2. So chain 1. Skip 3 double crochets into the next, and we want to keep going until we have 8 shells. Chain 1. So keep going until we have 8 shells, counting. So this is our corner here with our 2 in the same. 1, 2, and keep going until you have 8. So in my corners here, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then I've done, so I'll skip another 3, done 3 double crochets, chain 2, and then back into the same space we're going to work, in the same stitch we're going to work 3 more double crochets. So we're just completing the corner for the other side of our poncho. Chain 1. This is what it looks like. You've got a pointy bit there, and then you'll have a pointy bit at the top. Then on each side you'll have 8 groups of shells. Then we can join the end of the round, and we join exactly the same on each round. We slip stitch into the top of the chain 3. And every round we slip stitch across. So into the next 2 double crochets we're going to do a slip stitch, and into the chain 1 space we're going to work a slip stitch. And every round from now on is exactly the same. So chain 3, work 2 double crochets into the chain 1 space. So if you've made a granny square before, you will find this quite easy to do from now on. I mean, it's an easy pattern anyway. Chain 1 into the next chain 1 space. So we just worked in there, we're going into the next one. You're going to work 3 double crochets. Chain 1. And in each chain 1 space across we're going to work 3 double crochets, chain 1. And then I will meet up with you again when we get to first, I'm going to call them corners, even though it's probably not a corner. I'm going to meet up with you at the corner here and show you what to do. So I've worked my way across. When we get to the corner, or the shell that has two shells in the same space, we're going to work into the chain 2 space up the top here, work our 3 double crochets, chain 2, wait a minute, my yarn's got stuck around the tripod, where were we? Chain 2, back into the same chain 2 space, we're going to work 3 double crochets, so it's a chain 1, and then working down the other side and just only putting 3 double crochets and a chain 1 in each space. This is what we have so far. So at the moment it doesn't really look like a poncho. But as we go around, as we make more rounds, I'd say sort of round 4 or 5, it will start to take shape and you'll be able to fold it up and you'll be able to know what it's going to look like. So keep going around, and then where are we? We're here, so you're going to work your 3 double crochets in each space and your chain 1. And then I'll meet up with you down here. You probably already know what to do, but I'll show you what to do when we get to this corner down here. When we get to the next corner, I've already done my chain 1 after my 3 double crochets. Into the chain 2 space, we're going to work 3 double crochets. Oops, sorry guys. Now I've got my yarn stuck around my chair. Oh dear. What do we? Chain 2. I think my yarn's got legs. It's like gone all over the shop today. Chain 1. And then into the next one, we're going to work 3 double crochets. Chain 1, and then we're going to join with a slip stitch to the beginning chain 3. And from now on, what we do is we repeat that row. So you slip stitch across to your chain 1 space, chain up 3, work your 2 double crochets in the same space, chain 1, and then work your 3 double crochets, chain 1 into each space around. And you're going to keep going. And for the toddler size, I'm going to make mine 10 inches from the center here, the little valley here, to the point is going to be 10 inches in length. So stay tuned and you'll see that in just a sec. So here we go, this is what I've finished. I've got 18 rounds altogether, so there's 18 rounds, and to count them it's easier just to count down that corner part there. I find that really easy. Oh look, you can see what's on my next to me when I film. All sorts of things. We've got hairbands, tape measures, pens, pencils, bobby, what's that? Paperclip. Oh look, my shoes. So anyway, back to the tutorial. That's what I've got so far. So now we're going to work around the opening. We can work a double crochet around here. We could work a single crochet, half double crochet. You can pretty much change it up how you want to. I'm going to leave my borders plain, but I'm sure you could get creative and, oh look, there's my pumpkin pink cushion. Oh, and yarn on the ground that I made a mistake, had to rip it out. This is actually a video tutorial too. It's under Crochet Pumpkin. Yep, got really inventive with the name, didn't I? It's it's a really easy project too. So let's get started on the edging around the top here. So to start our neckline, we're going to grab our yarn. This isn't attached to the project at all, it's attached to the ball. And we can join our yarn into one of the spaces here with the chain 3. There's 3 chains that we skipped in the beginning, or you can join the yarn into where your shell is worked, so it's up to you. We're going to be working 3 stitches into the chain 3, and then we're going to be working 1 stitch into the chain that has the 3 double crochets in it. I'm going to use a single crochet. Like I said, you could use the double crochet as well, or a half double crochet, completely up to you. What we want to do is go into the space. No matter what stitch you're doing, you're going to work 3 of them. Into the space that has the shell going into it, we're going to work 1 stitch. Over here, we're going to work 3. Into the space that has the shell in there, we're going to work 1 stitch. Into the space that has the 1, we're going to work 3. And 3. So repeat this all the way around until we get back to the beginning of the round. When we get around, we're going to work a slip stitch into the first single crochet, or whatever stitch that you did. It'll be the top of that one. And we can work another round if we like. So to do that, you'll do 1 chain. If you're doing half double crochet, do 2. If you're doing double crochet, do 3. We're going to work another round of stitches. And continue around until we get back to the beginning. Once we have made the edging, it's time to make our tie up. So grabbing your yarn, I think this would work better with 2 strands of yarn. I have to go and get another strand of yarn. And this pink is Pretty in Pink. It's that fluoro one. I really like it. So I'm going to put that together. I think that'll look cute. Otherwise, the whole thing's the same colour. Put a bit of a different colour in there for it. What we're going to do is make our chain. Now, depending on what size poncho you're making, it's going to be different for all sizes, but basically we're going to make a chain, and then we're going to see when we put it in through the neck if it's long enough. So keep going. Oh, and I'm still using the same size crochet hook as well than what we did for the poncho. Keep going, and I will meet up with you when I have a bit of a longer chain. So I've made my chain. It's probably 60 centimeters or 24 inches long. It is still attached to the yarn, like the ball of yarn. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to thread it through the last, well actually it's the first row of shells, and I'm just going in between like the holes that are created with the stitches. So I'm going to do that all the way around. When we get back to the beginning, if it's not going to come out in the same direction, because I want it to be coming out here but it's not, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that back out, and I'm going to go back to where the back corner is, and I'm going to skip that one. Then I'm going to come back down. With a bit of luck, it comes out in the right spot. There we go. That's heaps better. So, and at the back, it doesn't even actually look like you've skipped it. So that's handy. Now, I want this long enough so I can tie it in a bow. So I want it a little bit longer than that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to keep chaining until we get the length that we desire. Once you have the length that you desire, cut off your yarn. Make sure your ends are tight. And you can trim that off so they're both the same length. But if you're going to add pom-poms, I'm going to show you how to do that next. I have my pom-pom made, but I haven't fluffed it out yet. And I've still got the strands that I used to tie up the pom-pom. So what I want to do is get the strand that ties up the pom-pom. You could use a crochet hook for this, but I'm going to use a needle. And you're going to stitch it to the bottom of the chain. And then put it right down into the center. And then tie your strands of yarn. Now I don't know which one it is, so I'm going to tie them all. Won't matter because we can chop them off and they will blend into the pom-pom. You can do that as many times as you want. I've done it twice, that should be enough. And now, when you fluff your pom-pom, it'll all disappear in there. And then, grabbing your scissors, and trim that. I need to trim it a bit more, but what will happen when we fluff it up? So cute. Disappears and it's all into the center. Fluff that out. There we go. I need to do a bit of trimming on mine, but so you're going to make 2 pom-poms and you're going to do that exactly the same. Needs a bit of a trim to both ends of your chain if you're adding your pom-poms on there.
I hope you enjoyed this project. Please share your creations on our Facebook page. We'd love to see the colour combinations that you will use. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy crochet!